So hey, welcome back to probably the first official video of the new channel name, Nat Joe's Caffeinated Library. Drinking some jasmine green tea. My cat is joining me, reluctantly, but he is joining me. I'm gonna put that down because I talk with my hands. Okay, so we're doing a tag video. It is the small booktuber tag. I have not been tagged by anybody to do this because I am that small, but we're here doing it anyway. So the first question is introduce yourself. I hate this question in all facets of life, so I will be very quick. Hi. I do YouTube videos sometimes. I have a day job that I love that's very fun. I'm a homicide detective. So cool. I'm so excited to be able to say that for reals, finally. I'm married to a gorgeous wife. I have 2 cats and no children because children are sticky. I have published my first book, Shadow's Voice. The second one, Shadows Past, is with the publisher right now being reviewed. 4 to 6 weeks we shall know, so yeah, that's all that question gets. Next question is, how long have I been on YouTube? I think my first video came out, it was just before the Rona started to get crazy. And when I was getting over my really bad cold that I'm pretty sure was the Rona. So April? We're gonna say the first video was like April. So almost a year-ish. Next question is, what type of videos do I make? I don't know. I just barely rebranded my entire channel, so we're still figuring that out. But I make book-ish content with some what will soon be writing stuff. I do book reviews, occasional tag videos, I do opening videos with Caffeinated Legends, and soon my author subscription box, which I haven't received yet. Yeah. And other videos, I'm sure, maybe eventually, when I figure out what it is I'm actually doing. The next question is, what is it that I love about BookTube? Probably feeling a little bit like I'm back in high school literature class, because I loved that class so much. I loved being able to read books and talk about them and just kind of nerd out over the books that we were reading with a bunch of people that also enjoyed reading the books. Like, one of my favorite memories was in Miss Child's class in 7th grade when we were reading Les Mis, and it was so much freaking fun just dissecting the book and picking apart the different literary elements and doing character analysis, and then watching the different movies and comparing how the movie compared, and then the music, and now it's a lot of nerd fun, and BookTube kind of reminds me of that, and so I think that is what I enjoy the most, just like-minded peeps nerding out about stuff. The next question is, what type of books do I read? Mostly fantasy, but I also have a really eclectic mix. So like right now I'm reading The Outpost by Michael Gear. So I'm currently reading Outpost, which is so good. I'm going to do a whole discussion review on that book because, anyway, so I'm reading The Outpost, which is super sci-fi heavy. I love fantasy stuff. I've got all of this is fantasy behind me. Some of this is fantasy. I also really enjoy like historical biopics, I guess you'd call them. Like one of the books series that I have up there is Brad Meltzer. Yeah, Brad Meltzer's The First Conspiracy, which was about the plot to kill Washington, and then what's it called? The Lincoln Conspiracy, which was the conspiracy to kill Lincoln the first time. It was really funny when I read the back flap for that book. It says something about how, like, you'll be very surprised to know how it stops. And I'm like, spoilers, Pinkerton stopped it, but you know if you know. I love those kind of books. I've also got a whole shelf of, like, women in war. So I've got the Night Witches book, Hitler's Furies. What else is up there? I've also got an American counter to the Night Witches, which is the American... what's it called? Sisters in Arms, which is about the female pilots in World War II. So I have a bunch of like women in war stuff, plus like early American history. Got a couple just like random fiction books that are really good. I don't usually gravitate toward just regular fiction. If I'm going to read fiction, I usually will either do sci-fi or fantasy though, because life is weird enough on its own. So yeah, that was a really long-winded answer to that question. You're welcome. The next question is, what is my favorite video that I've made so far? Probably the opening video I did with Caffeine and Legends, October? I think it was October. It's the one that I titled, I Spilled All the Tea, because I literally spilled tea all over my book in the middle of filming that. And I think it was really freaking hilarious, so maybe that one. Self-deprecation gets you places. And the last, not really question, but the last thing is you're supposed to tag 4 other small booktubers. All of these people are larger than me because I am like the definition of a small booktuber. But I love these people's channels. I don't think they've done these videos. I glanced briefly, so if you have, I apologize. If you don't do tag videos at all, I apologize. Consider this a shout out to some of my favorite smaller booktubers. So there's Megan's Reading Revelations, and Perks of a Book Flower, Izzy's Ink, who is hilarious, by the way, and Butterflies on My Bookshelf were the 4 that I chose. Well, thanks for joining me on that little ramble of a short video. Hope you guys enjoyed the new year. We'll see you guys next time.